Okay, this is just note taking. My job here is to solve the equation for the x variable, find out what the x equals. But here's the thing. You've got an x second and you've got an x to the first. So the highest power is at 2. So since that's true, the highest power is at 2, there's two answers. 2 because of the 2 that's on the x, the second power. But here's the problem. I can't solve this the way I'm used to because I've got x to the second and the other x is to the first. So those x's can't be put together because they're to different powers. So that is what we use this GCF thing for. Is you're going to do the opposite of the distributive property. So you go GCF. And first off, is the first number in the problem negative? Yes, it is. So the GCF's negative. And then you got x to the second and x to the first. So you need to factor out x to the first in your GCF. Then you take the big numbers, the 4 and the 8. Now I know 4 is negative, but on your GCF calculator, you just go 4 and 8. So 4, 8, and I get 4. So it's negative 4x to the first power. So that's coming out. Then I underline each one of these because I'm going to divide. I do the opposite of the rainbows. So negative 4x to the 1, negative 4x to the 1. Now the 2 and the 1 won't cancel out, but the 1 and the 1 will. You can just get rid of those. Okay, then I divide. I take negative 4 divided by negative 4. That's 1. Then the 1 will have an x, and on the x we take the 2 minus the 1. Okay, that's 1. Okay, then I take positive 8 divided by negative 4, and I got negative 2. Once again, if you get a negative 2, don't write plus negative 2, just write minus 2. Now, then those first powers at this point go away. Okay. All right, now that's what you just got done doing. Now to find the two answers, what I do is I wrap this a parentheses around the outside, and this is F1, factor number 1, and this is F2, factor number 2. And either one of those can equal 0. So F1's negative 4x, that could equal 0. And F2's 1x minus 2, that could equal 0. Okay, so I dot my x's and circle the multiplier, and same here. Okay, I don't have any plus or minus outside of that, so I just go ahead and divide by the same number, negative 4. Okay, 0 divided by negative 4 is 0. So that's your first answer, 0. Then outside the 1 times x here, we have a minus 2, so I do the opposite of minus 2, which is plus 2. And 0 plus 2 is not 0, that's 2. So 1 times x equals 2. And then divide by the 1, and 2 divided by 1 is 2. So 0 and 2 are the two answers. Okay. All right, now this one, you got two answers. And because of the x is to the second, the x I'm trying to solve for is the second, but I got x to the second, and I've got x to the first. So I need to factor. Space parentheses, and then GCF equals. Now, do you have a negative in the front? No. You got x on both? Yep. X second, x first. So x to the 1 is the one I want to put in the GCF. But it's positive because the first number is positive. Then I go 14, 28. Calculate it, and you get 14. So 14x to the 1 is my GCF. So then I'm going to go up and divide by the 14x to the 1. Okay, the 1 and the 1 cancel. And here we're going to take 14 divided by 14. That's 1. Then you got x. Then you take 2 minus 1. That's 1, so the x is to the 1 power. When I minus it, I'm trying to find out what power I should put. Okay, then I take positive 28 divided by 14, and that's 2. Now it was positive 2, so since it's positive instead of minus, I put plus 2. Okay, get these 1s out of here. They've served their purpose. Okay, now I put a parentheses around this, and that's my factor 1. That's my factor 2 equals 0. So factor 1, 14x, that can equal 0. And then factor 2 is 1x plus 2. That could equal 0. So here's the x being multiplied by 14, so I circle the multiplication part of the equation in both of them. You don't have a plus or minus there, so you're just going to divide by 14. And 0 divided by any number is 0, so there's your first answer. Then here I do the opposite of plus 2, which is minus 2. And I take 0 minus 2, negative 2. So I have 1 dot x, 1 times x equals negative 2. And then we can divide by 1. And negative 2 divided by 1 is negative 2. So this time the answers are 0 and negative 2. All right, that's all I have to say on that. I hope it's been informative. We're going to do that all week next week.